the US Congress is going to look into the climate change bill that they're going to propose and trying to build it up and create legislation that will reduce carbon emissions. And I think I've followed, of course, the clean development mechanism for the last years, and I was quite enthusiastic about it at first, but I can now see that there can be abuse of that mechanism, and I made an article about it in another website. I'll put a link next to this video if you want to check it out. Basically, the clean development mechanism, of course, should be used only for emitters of carbon dioxide, but it has been changed in order to allow it to be applied to alternative energy projects that do not emit carbon dioxide, and then give them, let's say, carbon credits for not emitting that. A negative result of that is that carbon will still be emitted even though you now have alternative energy which is clean. And that is the way that the clean development mechanism and carbon credits is not working. There is a much simpler approach to avoiding carbon dioxide to get into the atmosphere. And that is to tax fossil fuels. Basically all biofuels, all non-fossil fuels that are available, they're not really that bad for the greenhouse problem, for climate change, because they can be recouped and they can be carbon neutral. What is the problem is that we are burning really super large amounts of carbon that has been stored in the Earth's crust for millions of years. And because our species and all the other species have evolved in an environment where that carbon dioxide was not in the atmosphere, we're now seeing changes that we cannot really deal with. And of course humans can find a solution, but 2/3 of the animals will die, and lots of the plants will die, because basically the environment is changing so much that they cannot cope with it. And the key is that the carbon that is in the ground should stay in the ground. So that if you tax that, if you simply tax oil, if you tax gas that comes from the ground, those things, then you also have an income stream that you can use to build alternative energy. And that's a much simpler model to work with, in my opinion, because you know exactly where the oil goes, you know exactly where the gas goes and the coal, and you can simply tax those streams of material, and the money you use, or the money you get from that, you can use to build concrete projects: wave energy, solar thermal energy, geothermal energy, and wind energy. There are 4 technologies that are very tried and tested, very effective, and can provide for lots of energy for the people around the world. That's my suggestion, and I hope that will be part of the proposal, because the quite complex clean development mechanism, which was based on the idea of that was also applied to nitrates, for instance, in agriculture, where the emitters of nitrate have to keep books on how much they are producing. For instance, pig farmers, they produce a lot of manure, which is high in nitrates, and it has to go somewhere. The model on which this clean development mechanism was based was that nitrate type model, and that worked pretty well because nobody was creating a multi-billion-dollar industry, banking industry, based upon that nitrate trading, and no one was looking for more ways to exploit that mechanism, and it wasn't made that complex. It was just applied to the emitters, and that's what should happen to carbon emission trading schemes also, and that hasn't happened, and therefore it's much wiser, I think, to go for a simple solution, which is impose a tax on fossil fuels and use that money directly to fund clean energy projects.